So we're back with the next part of my vinyl collection. We're going to talk about today some more albums. I'm going to start off by the sequel to the last album we talked about in the last video. Now this is 1000 Gex and The Tree of Clues. Now this is a remix album. One thing that really disappointed me about this album in particular was that there's 5 songs on the online release out there. They like unique songs. I wish they were on this. This is a nice remix album, but I don't think it's essential if you're not a big fan of the first 1000 Gex album. But yeah, it's kind of got some really nice artwork inside and out. It also tells a story. So like some of the music video, you realise this guy, you can kind of tell from the back, is in the music videos. Oh, it's a better picture of him here on the front. This little mushroom dude. And it tells a story about all that inside the artwork. Now we're going to talk about FLCL, the original soundtrack. Now this is the soundtrack for the first series, not those newer series that came out like a couple of years ago. This is the original one. This is a great album. It's by The Pillows. It's original soundtrack. I highly recommend the songs like Little Busters. I think it's Ride on a Shooting Star. There's another good song on here. But yeah, I really recommend this album. I really recommend the anime as well that accompanies this. It's really good. This release is a gatefold release. There's not too much. There's nothing really to show you on the inside. It's pretty much just like a grey and white release. But yeah, I recommend you listen to this or watch the anime. I'd highly recommend the anime, I think, over the soundtrack. Next is one you guys are probably going to like. Obviously, you subscribe to the channel because it's more of an anime-related channel. But this is the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Now, this is a very cool release. It's a gatefold. I'll show you that. It's one of those horrible gatefolds where they go over on each side. But yeah, hold on a second, let me sort this. But yeah, each album has like nice artwork as well. You can see there. These are actually really pretty vinyls. One's like a purpley swirl and the other one's orange. It's a good vinyl soundtrack. It's one of those that I feel like you just want to put on. It's just nice ambient room noise as well, because it's mainly like a, kind of a jazz album. But yeah, highly recommend the Cowboy Bebop one. I think this could be out of print now, and I feel like it could be expensive. I'm not too sure on that. This is like an indie band called Rat World. This was another one I just picked up because I was interested by the cover. And in fact, I think it's a UK indie band. I wanted to see what this was about. This is a very good album. It's I suppose more people don't talk about it. It's got a nice, let's show it. It's a very nice presentation. The vinyl's like a splatter, kind of My Chemical Romance one, but like green and clear or green and yellow, if I remember. I recommend checking this album out if you like that type of music. Next is some Smashing Pumpkins. Now, I'm not too sure if this is an official release or not. I don't think it is. But what's cool about this is it's a radio show appearance. So it's like live music. It says it's from Sydney, March 13th, 1996, into the FM broadcast. It actually sounds pretty good. As you can see on the back, you can see, I guess this was like a show they did or something. It's a nice album. It's got some good songs. It's got Tonight Tonight, 1979. It's also got Bullet with a Butterfly Wings and Zero, which I think is some of the best songs of them, from like that Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness days. This is the 5th Johnny Cash album on the American Recordings with, forget his name now, what's his name? Rick Rubin. This is the 5th one in there. I was wanting to get all of these, but the one everyone wants because of Hurt, I believe, is the 4th one, and that's, at the time when I was looking at it, it's quite expensive. So I never actually ended up getting all of these. I think you can get them all in a box set. But there's some good songs on here. God's Gonna Cut You Down. Help Me. I think the one I really like is Legend in My Time. It's a good album, and I believe I really love this era of Johnny Cash, just because it's a more reflective era, and I think it's what he calls like his true self or something. Or he's just like allowed to make music that is different to what he originally started doing. Next is Bob Dylan's Nashville Skyline. This is personally one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite Bob Dylan album, and it's my favorite era of Bob Dylan because it's just the country type Bob Dylan. I think there's a song on here with Johnny Cash. Yeah, the girl from North Country featuring Johnny Cash is a brilliant song. This is just a really good album. You like country, like that older style country. So speaking of this album and this era, there is a Bob Dylan, what he calls his bootleg series. It's basically like demos and stuff that wasn't, necessarily good enough for an official release like this. It's just older music, but there's one that's featuring Johnny Cash. Can't remember exactly what number it is, but it's very good. It's like, I think there's like 2 out of the 3 discs are just him and Johnny Cash, and they're really good. I highly recommend that one as well. Next, we've got some more Bob Dylan, The Times, They're A-Changin'. That is probably the best song on here as well, The Times Are A-Changin'. I absolutely love that song. Once again, you've got No Country Blues on here. There's a few good songs on here. Like I said, I feel like this is another album you can just put on and enjoy. Next, we've got one more people should recognise, Green Day's American Idiot. I don't really need to say a lot about this, just because I'd imagine you already know this album. Any of you already made your decision if you like it or hate it. Once again, American Idiot, Jesus Suburbia, Holiday and Boulevard of Broken Dreams are some good music to listen to on this. It's another big recommend. Next, I don't believe this is an official release either. This is Eminem's Infinite. I'm not really sure. Either way, this is a brilliant album. This is a really underrated Eminem album. When people talk about Eminem, they always talk about like Marshall Mathers LP or Curtain Close or like The Eminem Show or like Slim Shady LP. It's not like as good as like, in my personal opinion, my favourite Eminem album is Slim Shady LP. This is before Slim Shady. It's good because you kind of get to see what it was like beforehand. There's some good songs on here. Infinite, It's Okay. The 313 is good, and I believe Backstabber was another one that I really like. This one though is on like a clear record as well. I haven't really showed off all the coloured records because it's getting them out and you don't want to be sitting here all day looking at some coloured vinyl. Right, that's it for this week's video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.